Right, so in this video, I'm gonna show you kind of how I've been creating my map using Google Drawing. As you can see, I already have some of my areas mapped out. So I have my river and stream, I have my forests, and I have my mountains already on my map. When you are completely finished, you should, for the most part, have every inch of your map representing some portion on this key. So for each icon, um, excluding rivers and streams, you need to have a color and an icon that represents that area. So for example, you can see my forest is represented by this light green color and then that little tree icon. My mountains, I created a little mountain icon using actually this polyline tool. It allows you to kind of create shapes. So you can kind of just create any shape you want. I just made triangles to represent mountains. And then you can change the fill colors of them to create whatever you like. What I'm going to do now is kind of add a few more components just so you guys have an idea of how I've been doing this. So meadows, I need to first choose a color. So I'm going to click there. I'm going to make my meadows yellow. Now I need a little icon. So I'm going to go into Google. When I think of meadows, I think of like grasses. When you just type in your image into Google, it gives you like real pictures. That's totally fine. You can totally use real pictures. That's your choice. Personally, I'm going with like the clip art look. So I'm going to choose one, right click copy, right click paste. And now I have my icon image that I can resize and put into my key. So now I know what a meadow represents on my map. Now I need to shade the areas on my map using my key that I just created. So I've, for the most part, been using the curve option. It kind of gives you that free form shape design that you can kind of create what you want. So once you select it, you'll have the little plus sign there. And to start, you just need to click anywhere on your map where you want to start. So I'm going to make this area in between my forest and my river here a meadow. So I'm going to click first there, and then you can kind of move it where you want it. Once you click, it's going to kind of change the shape of the figure that you're creating. So I'm going to go straight down here and kind of wrap it. Click there. And then I'm going to kind of go up along my stream, click, and then you can kind of mess around with it, but when you click, then you can change directions. So if you want to change directions, you should click so that you can start a new line. Honestly, the more you click, you'll probably get more of the exact shape that you're looking for. Okay, the idea though is that you're connecting it back to your original starting point so that you can fill it in with a color. Okay, so now I've created my shape. It doesn't need to be perfect, but make sure you're doing your best there. And I'm going to fill it in with my meadow color. You'll automatically just remain in this feature, so click on the arrow then when you're done so that you can kind of get back to what you're doing here. So now I just need to add in a few of my little meadow pictures. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to right click copy, right click paste, and now I have my little icon where I'm just going to kind of sporadically add them in there. Okay, and now we know that this whole area, general area, is a meadow. Obviously I would need to fill this in with something too, but for just direction's sake, I'm going to move on. Now, for campsites, you just need to kind of identify where on this map do campsites exist. So for my purpose, I'm going to use an X to represent that's the area where a campsite is located. In Equation, You have the multiplication sign, which you can actually just use as an X, or you could find a picture that's an X. And I'm gonna make it red. And I'm gonna put that there so that you know that if there's an X there, that represents a campsite. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy, right click, copy, right click, paste, and now I can just add campsites where I want them. So maybe I'm gonna put a campsite right by the river there. That'd be a nice spot. I'm gonna put a few in the forest. Maybe one up here in the grassland. Some over here, kind of up in the mountains. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to add hiking trails and habitat areas. To do that, I'm going to use the Scribble tool. This lets you just kind of do your own little thing. So, for example, maybe I just make a hiking trail that kind of loops through the meadow, through the mountains, and along the stream. So, as long as you're holding down your mouse, you can kind of drag this wherever you want it to create your Scribble hiking trail. So, I'm going to make the hiking trail kind of weave through the meadow. And I'm gonna wrap it through here. It's gonna go up into the mountains. Then it's gonna kind of weave through here, along the creek, back to the starting point. Okay, so there I have my scribble. Now what I can do is kind of change, you could change the color of the line. So maybe you make hiking trails purple. You can change the thickness so you can see it a little better. Okay, you can also make them like, if you wanted to make it a dotted line, or you could make it like a dash line or somewhere in between. Okay, so you can really do anything you want there. Okay, so say that's what I like. I'm gonna click out of it, and now I have my hiking trail on there. Now all I need to do is add that into my map. So all I'm gonna do again is just do a little scribble in here. And it automatically is the same as what I made it, so that's fine. So now I know anywhere on my map that looks like that somewhat is a hiking trail. Okay, I would suggest doing your habitat areas very similar. Again, I'm going to do the scribble. So maybe this forest has like a lot of deer that live up here, or bears. So maybe this whole area, and I'm just going to kind of do a circle, is bear habitat. Again, I'm going to change the color. Let's make it orange. Okay, so that is bear habitat, or whatever, animal habitat. Then I need to do one more thing in my key so that people know exactly what animal habitat looks like. There we go. Okay, then I would be pretty much done.